Cold intro. No music, no whatever. Just we're jumping into it. HHN night 2. We're already in the park. It's about 5:30. They're not technically open yet, but we came through the hotel guest entrance, and so the way they routed us was like straight through the Hellblock House. No option, like from outside the park by Blue Man Group, we went through Hellblock House, and now we are outside of it. We're over in the New York area, and it looks like this is kind of our stay and scream. They've got some ropes up here and there, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but we're kind of wandering around. Our friends are across the park in the Krusty Land Stay and Scream, and we're gonna try to link up with them. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. We're diving in though. It's night 2 here at HHN at Universal. Okay, we got clarification from a team member. We are officially in Stay and Scream now, even though we came in from hotel guest access outside the park. Our friends are at the Stay and Scream over at Springfield. We are at the Stay and Scream here in New York, Finnegan's area. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting now. We got some time to kill before we can roam around. So we're gonna go check out the scare zone over here now that it's daylight, kind of see what it looks like with the lights on, and probably grab our first beer of the evening. Here's just a look at some of the pop-up food booths and some of the food that they have. I am not the food guy. I'm not gonna go through the entire menu, but I've heard a lot of good things. I'm gonna try some of this later tonight. I don't know what or where I will be when hunger strikes, but I've heard a lot of good things about the food offerings this year. And see, these are just dessert. Petrified rat tails, major sweets, ice cream sandwich, spicy turkey and squash bun. And the same beers. I went over those in the last video. Tonight we're gonna try some pumpkin beer, some Oktoberfest, absolutely. That is where my mind is. So this is the Sweets Scare Zone, right in front of the Mummy. Beautiful photo op. Look at the happy couple. You crazy kids. What trouble have you gotten into now? Yeah, wow, these floats look great. Even in the daytime, the colors pop. Really bright, really cool. We walked around through here last night. The scare zones I need to get to tonight, and will, I promise you, before it gets dark. We get over to the Scarecrow Scare Zone and the Cemetery Scare Zone in Hollywood because it was late in the night and it was very dark. The way they lit those scare zones was very dark this year. And so I want to get some eyes on them during daytime because the props and the detail over there looked amazing. More of the themed food. The Meats Locker down here in the New York alley. I think this is probably one of the best placed themed ones that there is. Just take a look real quick. Fried zombie brains, spicy chicken falls. Tasty, tasty. I love how they set this up. So like the meat in there is for show. It's not real, but you pay up there at the front and then bring your ticket down, and this is where you actually pick up your food. And then head out through the freezer flaps back here. Oh, and they have a specialty cocktail spot back here. This is hidden. Bloody Mary, traditional Bloody Mary with New Amsterdam vodka. And then they've got your typical beers. And then freezer flaps exit. This is cool. I've never seen them turn this little alleyway into a like a linear dining thing before. There it is, the Fresh Ground Princess Rice Krispie treat. That is brilliant. I love how they package and present this. Emerald's excited because she gets a Rice Krispie treat. How is the Ground Princess?
This bitch is delicious.
We're over here in the alleyway streets of New York, and I mean, there's hardly a soul around. Look behind me right here. Nobody. And there's calm music. It's not even that creepy. And it's weird knowing that this is like Halloween Horror Nights pre-show. Like in the next half hour or so, what a madhouse of people are going to descend on this event. And right here's the stopping point next to Transformers. So this is as far as we can get to the other side right now. But Springfield is all the way at the other end, and that's where our friends are, so it'll be a bit before we can meet up with them. The soundtrack just kicked over to HHN. The fog is starting up. We're still not officially open yet. And Em found a park bench. She's finishing her Fresh Ground Princess. And I am going to pop over here to Finnegan's. That's going the wrong way. Turned around in the fog. I'm just gonna pop into Finnegan's and grab myself a drink to get this party started while we wait to, you know, mix and mingle with the other Stay and Scream areas. They split Finnegan's bar off as a to-go bar. You see they've got the queue set up in here and they are ready to operate for horror nights. So that this is just a bunch of grab-and-go drink stations, and the restaurant is still operating on that side as normal throughout the evening. Starting the evening off with a delicious, nutritious Guinness. What else would you drink in an Irish pub like Finnegan? Cheers, everybody. Halloween Horror Nights Night 2 underway. While we're waiting, we are gonna pop into the tribute store because, as I noticed last night, it actually gets a line outside during hours, like once the event's open. So we're gonna go ahead and pop in here and check things out. So right inside, you got this cool control panel, and fun story about these buttons. These are from a company called Windhinges Creek, and our friends Alex and Jen, that's their company. You saw them in the other video. You'll see them later in this video, but they're our friends that are trapped in the other Stay and Scream we can't get to right now. So that's pretty cool. I can't look at my phone right now because I'm holding a beer in one hand and this camera in the other, but we walked straight out of the tribute store to just this onslaught of people. So it looks like things are officially open at this point. They're letting people in. That's the queue for one of the haunts. I believe that one is Halloween right there. People are funneling into. And yeah, HHN is kicking off with a bang. Scare actors are out. We're headed to meet our friends. This is great. We were headed to Diagon Alley earlier in the day, and weather and some other stuff sidetracked us, so our friends want to meet over there and ride Gringotts before we lay into the Halloween stuff too heavily. And we got through all 10 houses last night. We saw Nightmare Fuel, so tonight's a little more relaxed. I definitely want to spend some more time in the scare zones like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, it's going to be a fun night. I love it here. The lighting at night really gives the scare zones a lot more atmosphere, but they put such work into some of the scenic details and makeups and stuff. It is fun to kind of walk around while it's still daylight and just get a good look at everything that's going on. It's okay, he signed a release, it'll be fine. On our way over to Diagon Alley, we're passing through the sacred, ritual, witchy scare zone. Again, looking at this stuff in the daylight, I mean, the amount of detail that goes into it, and at night when it's dimly lit and it's foggy and you just kind of blow past it, the amount of stuff you miss. Like, I didn't see any of this last night when we were in here in the fog, and it just takes a minute, you know. I'm gonna appreciate it while it's out and I can get a good look at it. So cool. And it looks like they were doing a an act out show on this last night, or they were supposed to be. A team member told me that they think they may have pulled it or changed it, which sucks, but unfortunately sometimes, you know, that happens. There was a show with like a voodoo sacrifice a few years ago, and after opening weekend they pulled it for various reasons. But yeah, the details up here look great. All these little witchy things, teeth, vials full of liquid and stuff. And of course the human sacrifices over here. Again, the detail in these bodies looks great. They've got all the ritualistic symbols carved in there and everything. And couldn't see any of this in the dark last night. At least I didn't. Now, I might not have been 100% sober when we got to this part of the park last night either. I'm still on beer number 1 right now. And again, I'm going to remind you guys, if my narration just sounds rambly right now, I apologize. But the reason is because right now, as you can hear, they're playing really loud background music. And if that really loud background music plays raw, YouTube algorithms will catch it and flag this video for copyright stuff with the music. So I just got to keep talking and pointing out all the cool stuff that I'm looking at. And hopefully you're looking at too, if you're still watching this. Doesn't look like we have any scare actors in this zone yet. They were out in the other zone back there, but this zone looks like we're still waiting. There's something about the twilight hour of HHN. When the fog started, but it isn't dark yet, and the streets are just filled with smoke, it's like, it's coming, it's here. It's about to get crazy. Harry Potter fanatics, here's your time to shine. Oh my gosh, look how empty Diagon Alley is. I said before, I'll say it again, I'm not a big Harry Potter nut, but I cannot deny the fact that this is probably one of the best, most immersive theme park attraction collective experiences. I love it. And right now for Halloween Horror Nights, just the natural, you know, background look of all the Harry Potter aesthetics, they blend beautifully. It's Halloween, it's fall, it's spooky, and you don't really have to do any kind of overlay on this type of stuff. And I've never actually come back here during horror nights, but from what I'm told by a lot of local friends, this is how it always is, because people for horror nights are here for horror nights. It is an upcharge to get into horror nights. It's not the same as a daytime ticket, so people are focusing on the stuff they can only get during those nighttime HHN hours, which means nobody really comes back here and does this. And if you've been here during the day or you've seen videos during the day, you know that it does not look like this. So take a moment to point out what the beautiful stonework looks like there on the ground, because you can never see the ground. Right? He agrees with me. All this cool stuff. Don't worry, I know I titled this video HHN Night Number 2, and that's what it's going to focus on. I'm not going to stay over here forever. But we have someone in our party who's never been here, so we promised them that we would go on Gringotts if it's open. And I think it is. There's people over there. Yeah. So we're going to knock out Gringotts, and then we will get back to your regularly scheduled Halloween programming. 15-minute wait for Gringotts. 15-minute wait for Gringotts. Unheard of. Beautiful. I love it. We are out of Gringotts Diagon Alley. Now we're back over here on the other side of the park. Like I said, I want to show you guys these scare zones during the daytime, because the detail and the amount of stuff they put out is impressive. I don't know if we're going to have actors right now because it is actively raining. Not too hard, but it is raining. One thing that's great about it though is how it just holds the fog. The artificial fog mixes with the humidity and just hangs and gets dense all over the park. I got this great like atmospheric music over here. Yeah, look at these. I didn't see these at all last night. Check out these scarecrows. Made out of mannequin's head, spider arm looking thing. Bird cage, rat cage guy. Got like all these like gnarly pumpkins that are laid into. Miss a lot of this stuff in the dark. Very cool. Yeah, there you can kind of see how the fog is not just like at the foggers, like it's just boggy and hazy everywhere right now because of the humidity. And because we're under trees, like it feels like we're getting rained on double time from the water, big old water droplets dripping off the trees. But check these guys out. These guys look great. All the cool little details up there. And you lose so much of it in the dark, I think. But again, and I mentioned this in the last video, night one, last night, it, is that one of y'all's?
Yeah. It's almost identical.
Okay, there's a padlock. Almost, but not quite. One of the Wind Hinges Creek's padlocks I talked about earlier. Haunt Jewelry. What's your website? Is it windhingescreek.com? Windhingescreek.com. When I say haunt jewelry, if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to windhingescreek.com and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We don't have any actors, but look, right here, we do have an actor pedal that does stuff. Peyton's gonna do it. I was gonna do it, but just Peyton's better. We're always looking and getting into trouble. And last night, I saw a photo of this. This is one spoiler I got. The Dia de los Muertos looking food stand. I walked right past it last night and didn't even see it because it was late by the time we got over here. It was foggy, it was tired. If you watch the first video, you know what I'm talking about. But what specialty beverages? Michelada cocktail, burning skull, and a souvenir cup. Tamales, ooh, mangonada popsicles. I may have to come over here and get some of this later. And everybody's wearing Dia de los Muertos makeup. This is so cool. We're gonna pop back by there later. I think that's where I'm gonna hit for my snacks. Just look at the fog and the rain and the daylight, it's so cool. We got the chainsaw drill team out here doing their thing. They got these great black and orange lumberjack shirts this year. Uh-oh, I've been spotted. I've been spotted. Look at them. It's crazy. Look, the customers are just fading into view out of the fog. This is great. Yeah, I don't like the rain, but I do love how the fog is working out over here. Love it when the actors play along like that. Getting into the Nettlewood Cemetery scare zone up here. Chainsaw guys, the chainsaw drill team's not actually part of this scare zone. This is just where we ran into them tonight. They roam the park. They pop up in various places. Although it's usually on this end. You don't see them around Production Plaza very often. There's a lot more dead space to fill over on this side of the park. Now we're checking out the Nettlewood Cemetery. All the fog and the statues, the actor holes. And see, look at these tiny details like flowers and little memoriam cards that people have left for the deceased. And the fan, oh, right there. This is, I feel the spirits. The spirits feel great. They feel like cool air. Yeah, it looks like they've pulled the actors from all the zones because it's raining. Again, it isn't raining too hard, and hopefully it'll let up here in a bit. But we do not have any actors right now, that's for sure. Still, the whole point I came over here, like I said earlier, is I wanted to get a better look at this stuff in the daylight. I talked about it a little bit in last night's video, but this zone the last few years has been like a wild and crazy, loud, chaotic scare zone. And this year they've gone the completely opposite direction. They've made it calm and creepy and eerie. And it's a shame there's no actors out right now because, like I said, the weather and the fog are cooperating beautifully for that like quiet, creepy factor. And as we saw last night, the creepy factor is just played up even more in the dark because the lighting over here is minimal. And great use of shadows. The actors are always hiding in the dark, popping out of the shadows, working with the light to their advantage. But yeah, a big departure from what has been in this area in the past. And now we're at the other end of this zone. More memoriam stuff right there. Do not climb. We mean it. One thing Peyton said last night in our group, she goes, the gate looks cool and it's annoying that there's only one half of a gate. We don't have the other side of the gate anywhere entering this cool cemetery scare zone. The Nettlewood Cemetery. So cool. All right, I'm getting rained on and the camera is getting rained on and I don't want anything to happen to it. So we are gonna duck into cover a little bit and see what happens, and then we are gonna meet up with some more local friends that weren't here last night with us and hit some more haunts and try some snacks. There are definitely snacks and beers that I want to try tonight. I got the pork tamale and I'm about to dig into this bad boy, and everything I've seen looks really promising. Also, right over here on the side of this booth, we have more cool decorations I didn't even notice in this little dining area. Of course, it's still raining, so nobody's over there right now. But really awesome atmospheric stuff. Try the tamale. That's good. That's really good. Solid snack food. Very good. Okay, our party's kind of divided at this point, and I think we're going to try to meet up later, but you don't care about that. We're about to hit the weekend and Legends Collide again, posting 10 and 20-minute waits. So, cool. Okay, Legends was on fire tonight. That was, I don't know if it was more cast, different cast, better cast, but they were on it tonight, like, and coupled with the badass scenery. That was a really, really good show. And now I'm going to dive into a Oktoberfest beer, and our other group is meeting up with us, and then we are going to start hitting some more haunted houses. Oh man, the weekend! We just did the weekend house again, and it killed it! Like, I got probably the hardest startle scare I've ever gotten here, like, in a long time. There was a room and I just flat out didn't see it coming out of the darkness. I didn't know there was an active spot there, and they popped out at exactly the right moment and got my drunk ass. So there you go. It's not because I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm buzzed, having a good time. Which reminds me, by the way, of the Farmeritaville rating system. I've really only got 2 ratings: ultra shitty and funner than shit. And Halloween Horror Nights is funner than shit. All right, lots of stuff happened since I last pulled this camera out. Mainly, I've had a few more beers. We've done a couple of haunts, and the interesting part for you guys now is we're back in this scare zone, and they are doing a show of some kind.
I can feel it coursing through my veins. The power emanating from these tortured souls. It shall be our vitality!
We missed a little bit of it, maybe not too much, but yeah, they're on stage and they're casting spells and stuff is spooky, and there you go.
Each bringing its own evil. But there is another power waiting to take root. From this spell, its dominion shall grow. Fear opens the door. Blood is gathered. Screams carry on the night wind. Souls are taken. Bones to bind. The portal is open. I can feel the presence breaking through. Ah, yes. I knew there was a missing element. Loyal minions, aid this wicked spell, for we must gather more power and spread its grasping vines. Every year, on this night, we shall cast this spell and bind it tight. Gather more followers and spread All Hallows Eve.
2022, we did it. Hey, listen, I don't know. It's night 2. It's the part 2 video of this. If you watched part 1, and I don't know. This video might only be like 7 minutes. I have no idea. Like, I feel like I started off strong, trying to get coverage of stuff while it was raining, and then here's what happened. I kept drinking. And then realistically, friends of ours locally that we never get to hang out with, like, finally showed up to hang out, and we just started partying. And along the way somewhere, I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be making a YouTube video. So if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. But I'm here for me first and foremost. I don't make any money off of this. So if you've kept up this far, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. We appreciate it. Em is here. She's having a good time too. We're all having a good time. But it's late and we're tired, and we got more crap to do tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for coming along. It's been Halloween Horror Nights 2022. My favorite place with my favorite person and my other favorite people. My favorite time of year. This video only happens once. This is the Better Than Christmas Day video. So after this, it's back to the grindstone, and we got to go make the spooky ourselves for people in Texas. So anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Go do stuff!